very excited that you're here, though. I think that it's like really fun, and I've been waiting for this. Like, you were very hesitant at first, but you're here now.
I'm here. It's been anticipated, but we are here. I'm excited.
This is Shaena Rabbani, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody? Yep. And
Yep.
I always misspell your name. Is it 2 N's?
My first name?
Yeah.
It's 1.
1 N.
Yeah.
See, I always fuck it up. I always think it's 2 for some odd reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Shaena.
Nah.
Shaena.
Yeah, I think that that's important. So it's just 1 N.
Mm.
But how long you've been doing comedy for? About like 3 years. Do you
3
count
years.
the pandemic?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for someone who's fucking honest and not a fucking pussy.
Some people, well, I think people who don't count the pandemic, yeah, I don't know. Some people don't.
Yeah.
I do.
And
I've been
why,
doing it for
and why
3
do you
years.
think that they don't?
I think people who don't count the pandemic probably didn't do stand up during that time.
Okay.
I would say.
I didn't do stand up during that time.
So, yeah, I
And
mean,
I count
everyone's
it.
different though. Some people are like, I guess if you consider how long I've been doing open mics or how long I started writing, like,
Yeah.
everyone has their
I
own.
also hate that too. It's like, well, I did it like 3 years ago.
Right, they're
And
like,
then
well, I did one open mic one time 7 years ago, but I've only been doing it for like 2 months.
And I'm
It's
just like, dude.
wait, are you a comedian or not? Like, what, tell me. Yeah,
Dude,
3 years.
No, that's like, oh man. And so you started like, that's 2019 then, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. I count the pandemic too.
What about you? You've been doing it.
Oh,
We're the same, right? Kind
Yeah.
of?
We're coming on to 4 years, right?
No, I just turned 3 this month. Like this.
Maybe I'm an idiot. Wait, it's 2022. If I started in 19, this would be 3.
Depending on the month, though.
Yeah, September.
But also, it doesn't really matter like
I
that.
know.
You know, I mean, it does for some people. But like, I feel like
It's
once
like,
we're like 7 years in, it's
Yeah.
like I don't even know.
Well,
Like-
I just like the one thing that I like to gauge is just like to see, you know, when I first started, everybody was like 10, 12,
10, 12.
15
Years
years
in?
in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and
What do
I
you mean?
don't-
The people around you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when
Yeah.
when I first started, I mean, I'm assuming you too is because like you started just like a little bit before me, I think. Like, you know, everybody that was like there had been doing comedy forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like those people are like gone. Nick Glasser's coming back.
There's no. I
coming
wouldn't say
back.
they're gone. I
Well-
think that there's just a lot more newer ones now that it seems like there's less of the others, but it's a mix now.
Really?
I think, yeah. I would say there's like a new wave of comedians.
A lot of them have like moved.
A lot of people have moved. A lot of them probably stopped. A lot of
Yeah.
them, maybe the pandemic. A lot of people still don't come out. Like, so I think,
So frustrating.
yeah.
I just wish people loved their craft. Like, you know, like somebody like Peter Brick. I think that he's so talented, and I just like think that like if he cared less about like a career, that like he would be like the best comedian in the world.
Oh my gosh, Peter Brick.
He's my favorite local comedian.
Peter Brick, for those of you watching who don't know, is a local Columbus comedian, and he's so funny. Yeah, he's so good.
The very first person that I saw who had a voice.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So like him, Ty Moore, Joel Good, those people were the only people that like weren't doing their jokes like, so I was hanging out with my girlfriend the other day. It's like Peter's like, I was hanging out with my girlfriend. Can you believe that? And it's like Ty Moore is like, I don't have a fucking girlfriend. What the fuck? And it's just like they all have their own like, and it's like girlfriends. You guys have them? Yeah, that's Joel Good. He's like everyone loves girlfriends, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like.
But we all have our different voices.
Yeah.
and
Well, it's like some of us haven't even found them yet.
correct.
And it's like, do you think that you found your voice? A lot of people say it takes like 10 years or so to find a voice.
Okay, so something I've been talking to people about recently is
dun.
it is not years.
Yeah.
I cannot stand, that is one thing that I will. It is not, people are like, oh, not until you're this many years in. No, it is minutes on that stage. It is minutes with your pen to your paper. Like, it is minutes that you spend getting better at your craft, not just how many years you've been doing it. Like,
boom, boom, boom.
So people will be like, it takes 10 years. No, it just takes, I believe at least, this is my own hot take, whatever, but I think it takes a number of I think it's minutes on stage. I don't think it's, and I think it's
Which
minutes
could
spent
take
writing.
some people 10 years.
Someone else, it could take them 5 years. It could take somebody 15. Like someone who does open mics once a week, and maybe only writes once every month, then it's going to probably take them a little longer to find their voice. You know, I don't know, but I don't think I have found my voice completely. I will say in this past 6 months, I've felt a shift in myself on stage. And for the first time in my comedy career, I can say that I feel like I'm finding my voice. Like it's myself up there and I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. So it feels like I'm finding my voice. But yeah, I would say that I'm not there yet at all. But a little bit, maybe just like I'm starting. I'm at the tip of the beginning of starting to find my voice.
That's interesting. See, because I felt like one of the things that, you know, some people have always said to me is that, like, after the pandemic, like, I just, like, got funny. Like, as opposed...
You specifically?
Yeah.
Before you
like,
weren't?
Yeah. So it's like, I don't think that I've even found my voice yet. I just think I figured out how to, like, structure jokes better, maybe. So I don't know if, like, that is maybe
helps.
A part of it.
Yeah.
But, like, because right now I'm trying to focus on, like, you know, what angle... do I take on the world? Because I feel like my angle has kind of changed over time. Like I used to be super positive, you know, back in the day, and then as I like grew into like my college years, I grew very cynical, and then like I hated everything, and it was like I feel like my high school years into my early college or my early like, you know, few semesters that I did at college, those were probably, if I would have started like comedy then, I feel like I would have been at a different spot. Like not even just because I've been doing it more, but I think I would have been at a different spot where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done way too many drugs where I just like, now I'm like a lot more content with people. I'm like, it's just like, do you? And then now it's like, I don't complain about like people's lack of like, you know, ambition or like as much as I used to anymore. Like I used to be very straight edge. I didn't do anything, like no drinking, no nothing.
Yeah. I also think our voice changes based on our opinion changing. Like my voice has changed. I've been doing comedy for 3 years and my voice has changed so many times in those 3 years. Like world events and things happening to you mentally and like your mental health or your physical health.
True.
Like I think your opinion changes so much on the world, especially as you get older. Like, or even like when you're young, your opinion's different. Or if you get hurt or you hurt somebody, like your opinion changes on the world a little bit. I think personally, I think that your voice changes over time so much. Yeah.
But you've been finding your voice in a very special way because you've been getting a lot of like nice little success here and there. You know, it's been helping you out. Especially when you're being authentic and, you know, people are like, I want to hang out with that person. Hey, come to the show. Yeah. How's that been for you? Like, have you been, is it like surreal or like whatever? Because like you've been doing like a lot of funny bones here and there. You're doing a lot of fun shows with like all these cool people. It's like, how has that like shaped your comedy or I don't know, like, has that held you back at all? Like, are you like, I'm like afraid of like doing too much or like whatever? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to get at. Like, I
think like, you're just asking me, the success that I've been finding, bigger shows and in the past, like how is that shaping my career? How is that shaping me as a comedian? Yeah. Yeah.
As a person. Yeah. Because you're a very nice person. And this is why, and this is really quick before you answer that. This is why I wanted you on the podcast. Because I feel like part of your success is because of how nice you are.
Okay, so I do want to say, this is so silly, and this is just me.
Yeah.
I don't think the word nice is a compliment, but I would say that I try to be a kind person.
Okay.
I'm not a nice person. I used to be nice. I used to just like want everyone to like me, and I wanted to be nice. I think nice is when you don't have boundaries and you want everyone to like you. You want to be nice to people. You want to come off as a nice person, and you will do anything. You're kind of like, and I think kindness is like, I don't always make people, not everyone's going to like me anymore, because sometimes like being kind to other people is also understanding that like I can't say yes to everything. Or if I was a nice person, I would say yes to everyone. Like, you want to hang out? Yes. You want to do this? Yes. And now it's like I stop and take a minute, like, wait, what is the kindest answer that's going to be good for me and other people around me? And that's what I think the difference is. I think kindness is just like knowing your boundaries and like giving people not just what they want to hear, but like the true answer, the truth.
Okay.
That's just like what I think. But I think that you asked me about, Yeah, I've been doing a lot of bigger shows, and I've been working a lot of clubs this past year and a half, and it's been really fun. Has it shaped me as a comedian? It's helped me get in front of like it. It feels good to do shows in front of sold out crowds and to know that my material works, to get an audience to, because the thing about open mics is I still do every open mic that I can, right?
Yeah.
I'm working on new material every single day if I can, every week, whatever, you know, whenever I'm writing new stuff. But okay, so like if it takes me 13 open mics to find out if a joke works, it only takes me 4 booked shows to find out if that joke works, if that makes sense. Like, I have a bigger audience who's, if I'm doing really well at the Funny Bone and I do a joke and nobody laughs, it is the joke. It is the joke. You know,
Yeah.
like if everyone's on my side, the crowd loves me, I'm doing really well, and then all of a sudden one joke doesn't work, it is that joke. But at open mics, you don't know because the audience is not there.
This is something that Simon has talked to us about. He had said that, like, you know, it like the first time when you're doing a joke at the Funny Bone or like a club, any club or whatever, like the first time you like a joke doesn't work, you can kind of be like, oh, it was the crowd. Second time you might be able to like, I wasn't feeling great, or you could be like the crowd. If it doesn't work the third time, it's probably the joke.
Yeah.
And he's like, but it's like you just said with open mics, it's a lot harder.
It's harder.
Because it's like, you know, you could get comics who are either just like, you know, pitying you, or maybe they're not even pitying
or
you.
not
Maybe,
paying
yeah, maybe,
attention.
or maybe they're just laughing at you and you're like reading it the wrong way. And you're like, oh, they're laughing at the joke, but no, they're just like laughing at you or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, a little bit of self-awareness should, you know, be involved. But
I think so much self-awareness is involved in comedy. I think it's so important to have self-awareness of yourself and your jokes. Like, how are these jokes doing? How am I telling them? Is it me? Is it the joke? 9 times out of 10, it's not the crowd.
yeah,
It's you. It's the joke.
exactly.
Yeah. And people don't want to hear that. But
So have you ever had a situation with a joke that like works really well with some crowds but not with others?
yeah, I have a joke right now that I'm doing that I've done it probably 30 times. I want it to work so bad. And I love it so much. But it's just like not working. It works sometimes, it works really well, and sometimes it does not work at all. And if you don't have a good average on a joke, for me, it's got to go. Like, I can shelf it. I can try to write it again later. I can
What's your
come back
average on
to
it right now? Is it like still a winning average?
No, it's gone. The joke's gone. I haven't done it in 2 weeks. It's gone. But I love it so much and I believe in it so much that I'm going to bring it back. It's not gone forever.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just like, it's not working.
Yeah. I have a joke that I was doing when I first like started doing comedy right out of the pandemic, and I just overdid it.
Yeah.
And it was like, it worked really well when I first started figuring it out. I was like, all right, this is how I'm supposed to start saying it and everything. And then I just did it so much. And then that was like when Halima was like, hey, you're not doing that joke anymore, are you still? And I was like, why? Is it a bad joke? And she's like, you're just a better writer than that. And I was just like, oh shit. I was like, but like it was like working, I would say like, I don't know, like 3 out of 4 times. So it was like, you know, I just had to be cautious about like, you know, if it was like, you know, too liberal of a crowd, they would take it. Well, and that was like the thing too, is that like Amanda, what's her last name? Ramirez, the host, shout out to her, of Savor Pint.
Yeah, Amanda.
She like came up to me when I first started like coming back out, and she's like, I really like your social justice approach. And I was like, well, that's not like what I'm going for. So I haven't like done the joke in a minute, and I'm like trying to figure it out. I really want to make it like a special joke, because I think that like it has that potential, because it's like in my mind it's like an homage to like Daniel Tosh's bit that he did about like the subject, and I'm like, I really want it to make it work, but I also don't want it to make it racist. So I just like need to make sure that that's like, you know, the line. But it also, I don't want to be like, you know, I'm, you know, super liberal and this is my stance on this thing, because that's also not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do comedy. I'm trying to like write a joke that like makes sense, that's funny, that people will enjoy.
What's interesting, I mean, I hear what you're saying is that basically the feedback you've gotten from other people has made you realize that you may just not want to do that joke right now.
Yeah.
But you'll come back maybe in a special and you'll put it in there.
Because I think that I'm just not skilled enough to talk about the topics I want to talk about. That's what I think. Yeah.
Yet.
I think I'm just not, I need to focus more on like personal experience.
Yeah.
I found that like we were just talking earlier, like about my like reels, like I've been like paying attention to like, you know, what's getting good, like the views,
Your
what's
analytics.
getting the likes
Yeah.
compared to the views. And like the ones that are blowing up on Facebook are getting a lot of hate. So that's why they're like actually like getting a lot of views. Because people are like, this joke sucks. And then more people are seeing it. But when I look at the jokes that are getting lots of likes and views, the ones that do the best are the ones that are about my parents.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So it's like the stuff that I actually know about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your personal experience versus, and you know what's so
my
interesting?
hot take on like some, you know, political thing or whatever.
But that brings me like, okay, so I feel like you can like me right now, I'm working on more observational because for the past 3 years, it's personal. It's all personal with a little bit of observational. But I've noticed that if you have an observation about something, that's when people can be offended. Even if you're not offending anyone, even if you're not saying anything mean, people, I feel like if you're like, I don't know. I get
what she's like, I don't even want to say anything.
No.
Someone will be offended.
I'm just saying, like, you have an opinion on anything. It could literally be anything. I did a joke recently that I like put out into the internet. And same, like, it got a lot of views. A lot of people really liked it. But then there was a bunch of people in the comments who were like, who took the joke the wrong way. That's not how it was meant to be taken. But, like, that's not on me. I mean, that's on them. Like, that's how they took it. That's not how I put it out there.
Yeah.
But even if it's not political, people can take, like, a very political approach to it, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, it's so interesting. So your parents. I talk a lot about my family and myself because that is what I know. That's people can't take that away from you. That's your point of view. That's your perspective.
Okay.
On life.
So, and then your perspective, like you said, I always hear you say that you're Persian, and what else do you say you are? So
my dad is Persian. My mom is Mexican. I'm half Persian and half Mexican.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And how did they meet? Do you know? Like, I mean, do they tell you like, hey, this is how we met? Like,
they met. My mom used to be like my dad owned a store, and my mom went into one of his stores. Yeah, and that's how they met.
That's incredible.
Yeah, you want my mom and dad's origin story.
Well, no, I
could call him.
No, but so you, because the reason why I ask is because like you're Jewish too, correct? Mm-hmm. And whose side is that?
My dad is Jewish. My dad's family.
Wow.
Yeah. So Persian Jew, and then Mexican.
Okay. Sweet. And then is that the religion that you guys followed like throughout your childhood and stuff like that? Or did you adopt your mom's?
No, so I did both. So I went to a Hebrew school my entire life. I went to a Jewish school, like a private school that I went to from kindergarten until 7th grade, where we literally learned Hebrew. We learned about the Torah, like our religion. We studied all the Jewish holidays. I went to temple, and my school was very religious. And then my mom was Catholic. Mom's Christian. So I also studied everything like Christianity wise. Like, so my mom would take us to church, and we celebrated Christmas and Hanukkah. We celebrated both. Jewish.
You lucky dog. She's like,
we got double presents. That's all you heard. I mean, no, that's all you heard. You're like, wait, you got presents twice in the month of December? And one of them was for 8 days.
Are they still together?
No, my parents aren't together.
Dude, so it's like double now. It's like,
yeah.
Right? It's like 4 times. Well, she's probably not like
celebrating Hanukkah still. Yeah, no, my mom's not celebrating Hanukkah still. So it was. People love that, the present thing. They're like, you got both of them. But yeah, I always just.
So I guess divorce wasn't really different for you.
Because my parents both like.
Because you were always getting.
Both anyway. Yeah.
That might be a good angle. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just thinking about shit.
You want to think about jokes? Yeah,
no, I'm not trying to write jokes.
Yeah, we can write.
I just think that because I also talk about. I just think that like that it has probably a huge reason of why you might be good at writing, or like I don't know, like they say that Jews are really good at writing and comedy. I'm not saying that is the thing, but maybe being brought up in a very religious, setting tends to help you structure things better. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't answer that. I can't tell you that. I don't know. I had a friend ask me the other day if Jews are really good at fantasy football. Like, so I think people just have stereotypes that they want to run with. I can't tell you that my Judaic upbringing is what helped me write so well today. I took writing classes. I was really good at writing. I was really good at English. Like, that was the one thing in school that I excelled at. So I've always just been a writer. I've always been naturally funny. My dad is really funny. My dad has like writers in his family. So I don't think it's because we're Jewish, but like maybe I'll have to look into that. We should take a survey. We should take a crazy survey.
I also, I've been telling everybody this because I think it's hilarious. I've been getting called Jewish so much recently, and I don't know fucking why. I'm like, because I don't think I am.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe people think you're good at writing. They're like, are you Jewish?
No, dude. But I had some guy at it was actually happened twice in one day, because it was at the Funny Bone show, and we were like joking around, and something had happened on stage. It was kind of embarrassing to me, because my phone had gone off while I was on stage during the improv, and I was like fucking fumbling with it. And then after that, then for like 2 rounds of improv, I just like did not know what to say, so I didn't go up to the mic. And then some black lady was like, wait, what about him? And then everybody just started laughing, and it just like made it. It was.
She wanted you to be included. You do have a Jewish look to you.
Do I?
Yeah, I mean,
like the curly hair. I mean, it's not like it's curly sometimes. But.
Yeah, you have curly hair. You have darker skin, like your complexion. Like, you're not super light.
Yeah.
You have.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have like thicker hair.
The kitchens at the Mexicans in the kitchen that I work at, they thought I was Mexican.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Until I talked to them. They're like, I was too white to them.
You have blue eyes.
I don't know, dude.
Oh, it's interesting.
I guess it just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of like Latinos that work there, so it's like they probably just like, maybe I was just like a lighter one, but like,
yeah, maybe they just assumed.
But like, because like one of them, like when I was talking to her, Ariana, she was like, yeah, I thought you were Mexican. I was like, that's crazy. That's nuts.
Yeah, but that's wild.
In
but
college,
I guess,
somebody asked me if I was Brazilian.
What are you?
White.
White.
Polish.
Okay, you're just white.
Irish, probably.
Yeah, that's wild that you would get Mexican.
Yeah.
I don't see it, but I mean,
yeah,
everyone sees something completely different.
Yeah.
So maybe, that makes sense to somebody.
We don't see the same colors, I guess.
No, we don't see the same anything. Yeah. You're colorblind?
Yeah, I am colorblind. For real.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. I'm serious. Do people ever do that thing to you? It's like, what color is this?
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
When I was in 8th grade, I drew a green giraffe. I colored a green because we had to do pamphlets for.
Did you know it was green?
No, because the colored pencils that I had didn't have like the names of the color on it, so I just had to like go with the look, and it looked fine to me. And I was like,
"Are you serious?"
Yeah, dude. I got made fun of so much. Like well into high school for that too, because that happened like middle school.
Is that considered a disability?
See, no. You know what? I think about this all the time because I'm like, you know what? Like growing up, it's like, oh, I just don't see colors that well. But then I like think about it and I see all these people who put on those glasses. I've done a lot of research on those glasses. They don't do exactly what they say.
Okay.
But people who put them on, they like start crying. And I'm just like, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing right now?
Yeah.
Like, is it so different that I would be crying? You know what I mean? But then I think about it. I'm like, is it a disability?
Yeah, I would say
Like,
so.
Dude,
I mean, you definitely have less of an advantage, I would say, as far as like...
depending, though. Some people say that colorblind people can see better in the dark.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like if you can't hear, you're probably really good at seeing, smelling, and tasting. Like, you probably... It compensates itself.
Yeah.
It balances itself out. You can't see color, but... At night, dude,
When there's no color.
Yeah, dude, that's your shit right there. Yeah.
There's no color to be seen. So you just...
Wow. Yeah, I
see
don't
everything.
know. aren't like, do you see the world? I mean, you see colors.
She's like,
No,
do
like,
you see the
is it
world?
black
No,
and
I don't
white?
see-
No, like, what are
that's-
you seeing?
See,
Is
I
it just,
see colors.
but it's just
That's
different.
the thing. It's like this is the best way that I can describe it. So if you took
What colors you see in that?
that's not the best way to do it. Okay. If you took
okay.
if you took your red, like the red that you have or
Okay.
whatever, and then you took a field of grass and freshly cut it where it's like freshly green, and you took that red item and threw it in the middle of the field, I would not be able to see that red thing.
Wow.
Yes. So it's like I don't like the term colorblind because it's like it makes people think I see in black and white. If I were going to tell
You're
somebody,
like color dyslexic.
it's like shade deficient. So it's like I can tell the difference between a red and a green
Right.
if the difference is like super
Prominent.
Like, yeah.
We had a teacher. We had a smart board. You know what smart boards are,
Yeah.
right? So there was like 4 colored pens, and it was
Uh-huh.
like a green one, a red one, a blue one,
Yeah.
maybe whites or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is so mean, but the kids in my class used to mess with him, and they would change the red and the green, and he wouldn't know. Like, but it didn't matter. He was just writing on the. But like now, that's so mean to
Yeah.
make fun of someone for that because that's a real.
It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. I think about it like that. Like I've thought about it like that later in life. I would say in the past like few years where I'm like, oh wow, that kind of like sucks that I haven't like actually got to see shit. But then I'm like, I'm just being a pussy. It's like it's fine.
You're gonna put
fine.
on those glasses and start crying. That's why you haven't gotten them because you're like
They're
embarrassed.
fucking $500.
Maybe you could rent them.
Rent.
Can I put them on one time for $12?
Yeah, just to cry.
just to do a
I
quick
can-
cry
I
and then
can watch TikTok videos of dogs and
get your
achieve
cry.
Yeah, I do
yeah.
that.
You watch TikTok videos of dogs and start crying.
Yes,
Wow.
that's like my thing.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
like do you have like a time that you like choose to cry?
Whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't like schedule crying time. I mean, it just I cry, but like
Yeah.
it just happens like when I'm feeling that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not like
It's not like always like sad tears either. It's always like sometimes like you see like a cute little doggy get a happy life. You're like, oh my god, that's so.
That's hilarious. I feel like more men schedule their crying than women.
yeah, maybe it's like
Because we
I
just
don't
know.
When you asked that, I was like, yeah, dude, I feel that. And she said no.
It's
I
like,
was like,
it's like the
absolutely
day
not.
off. It's like after the fucking long work week, you have the day off. You just get on the toilet for like an hour and a half. You're just scrolling on TikTok
you're on the toilet
for
crying.
an hour and a half. All the other things.
That's
she's
what
like,
men do in the bathroom. Is that why my boyfriend takes so long in the
Yes.
bathroom?
Just-
He's
just
crying on
crying
TikTok.
away.
Yeah, dude. We gotta cry.
Oh my gosh. I don't think it's a man thing. I think it's just people who like maybe I don't know. Are you in touch with your emotions, would you say? Pretty well?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Okay.
It depends, though. It's like,
Yeah.
depending on who you talk to, some people would say that I'm very emotionally apt, and then
Right,
some
but I'm
would
talking to you. I'm asking you. What would you say?
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
She's like, are you also a psychologist? What's
No.
going on?
And how does that make you feel?
How does that
I'm
make
just
you feel?
wondering.
I did this to Chris when we were tripping on mushrooms. That's funny.
You asked him how he feels.
We were like chatting up, and then I said something like that was along those lines. He's like, "What is this? A fucking like therapy
that's
session?"
funny. Yeah. This is my favorite. I love like I mean, I am very much into like therapy and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Not therapy, but I used to be, and it's something I really do love to like talk
Okay.
talk about stuff like this.
I
But
Psychology is hella interesting.
Yeah,
It's incredibly interesting.
I love talking to people. I have never been to a therapist. I've been to a counselor. I don't know if that's like the same thing. Like back
like a
when-
school counselor.
No, like my dad and his like girlfriend back in the day, they like got into a fight. Like, they were always getting into fights. So she brought us to like a family counselor or whatever. I hated that woman because she said that everything that my dad's girlfriend did was like right. And I was like, oh my God, she's the abuser. You don't even see that.
Aw.
She, like, and that,
What if she
isn't
was
that the
paying the
craziest thing too?
therapist?
Is that she gaslit us by taking us to therapy to show that we were the dude. It like that's like the worst form of gaslight.
Yeah. That's scary.
Because then it's like you need to listen to her more. It's like she is beating people. Like, what are you talking? She pulled a knife out of my dad. Dude, that shit's crazy. We're just getting off track right
Yeah.
here. We're just like going all over the place.
Yeah.
We were talking about you going to a Jewish school. Your mom was a Catholic.
No, my mom's Christian.
You
No.
said she wasn't a Catholic?
She was Christian.
I thought
she
you
was.
said Catholic.
I did accidentally, but then
Oh,
I changed
okay,
it.
okay.
She was Christian.
She's
Yeah,
Christian.
she is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so,
What's the difference?
what's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, it would be very interesting if it was Catholic, because that's like, I guess, like the closest thing that you could get to, like, in my eyes, like to Judaism, without actually being, you know, Jews, except you believe in Jesus.
Yeah, I don't even know much about Christianity, honestly. I know a lot more about
really?
Judaism. Yeah, my mom, like, I mean, went to church every once in a while. We celebrated Christmas, but like I said, my school was Jewish. I went to Sunday school. I learned about Judaism. So like I never learned anything about Christianity. So
How
like
do you
it
view
doesn't
religion?
feel
Like, do you like look at it as like stories, or do you look at it as like these things like really happen? Or like not like you believe that they really happened, but like they're fantasy stories that like people believe actually happened. Because as I'm growing older, I have wanted to take something on. And I think it's because the way that I'm looking at them now is not like stories that like actually like happened, but like as like stories that I can like learn something from. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
a lesson in there. And I think that that's why the reason why I kept asking you about like all this like stuff is because I think that like people who look at it like that, who can understand the stories,
yeah.
are able to then tell stories that are entertaining to people in a way that like can get the point across, can either be funny, sad, whatever you want to make it. But it's like when you grow up with that type of structure and you can hear a story and be like, oh, you know, this story is like meaning, you know, we should be not afraid or something like that, as opposed to like this guy went to a store and threw a rock at somebody. I don't fucking know. But like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm high
Yeah,
as
I'm
fuck.
not sure. I think so. You're saying,
How do you look at the stories? Like, are you a religious person?
I mean, here's the thing. I look at everything. I'm not a black and white thinker, right?
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm kind of like in the middle of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I grew up really religious. I grew up believing that these things really happened. But I will say, because I also learned about Christianity, what it showed me is that like, because there are so many different, like some of the things that like I learned in my Jewish school, I would learn at church that like,
Yeah.
oh, they don't believe that happened. So I think that for me, I think I just take what works for me, and then I just, you know, I go that way. So I'm very much in the middle. I do believe these things happened, but I do like what you're saying, that like they're stories to be shown that there's a lesson here.
Yeah.
And that you can take that lesson away however
And there's like
you...
1,000 lessons. Like you can read the same
Yeah.
story a billion times and
Yeah.
then come out from, you know,
The thing I
something
do
different.
like about religion is that it gives people, I feel, which is like, it gives people like a moral compass. It gives you like, I think for a lot of people at least,
Yeah.
Religion gives someone that feeling of, yeah, like there's a, you want to do right so that you can do right for your God or for your spiritual power, whatever that is, and do right as in whatever that means in your religion. I feel like that's why I don't know. I'm not really, to be honest with you, I'm not a very, I don't know. I don't really talk much about religion with people.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that people don't really talk about.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a joke or something? Not like a joke, but you're not supposed to talk to people about
Like money,
religion.
money, and politics.
Money, no,
No, money, religion, and politics.
those are the three things?
Yeah, I think so.
Money, religion, and politics. Okay.
It's like you're not supposed to ask like a guy how much he makes. You're not supposed to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
their religion is. Yeah, so I don't really talk about religion
Yeah.
with people, so it's interesting. I don't really know. I mean, I just take what works for me and I just do it.
Well, I think it's the reason why is I think it's because it's like a dying thing. I think that like like people are like falling like away from religion, and I think that it's like because it's not a part of everyone's like daily lives anymore. like we're
I
not
think
talking about it as much.
It's probably the people that you're around. I would say
True.
the people, especially if
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of my family and friends aren't like
Yeah.
religious. So,
so
yeah.
your point of view on that is only what you see.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't say the same.
I'm not in a church, so I'm not hanging
yeah.
out with a lot of people who are also
right,
religious.
Right.
Yeah.
But my family, my dad, I mean, like
Yeah.
my family, they're religious, and so I know a lot of people who
See.
are
I
religious.
got
Yeah,
you.
even on the other end,
Interesting.
even
Okay.
religions that I'm not in. I know people who are like, you know, very devout Christians and go to church. I know people who are Jehovah's Witness, and like they are very devout. Like, so I think maybe in your world, I get that totally. You think
Yeah,
it's, but I
okay.
wouldn't say that that's.
It's just the perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your perspective, which is
Interesting.
all you have is your perspective of your world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because like I said, like as I have gotten older, I have felt like the need for something
Yeah.
that like gives me a little bit more structure than just like, you know, wandering through life. Because I feel
Sure,
like
you like
these-
a need,
they're
like a deeper
foundation.
need, a deeper
Yeah.
purpose or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's probably where religion, I don't know, I know people who get religious when they lose a loved one or something.
Oh.
Like people who go through a crazy amount of grief or something will then adopt, they need, you know, I don't know. So I guess that makes sense for you,
Interesting.
like to be getting older and wanting, I don't know, like a deeper meaning or, you know, I don't know. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
And it
Dude,
doesn't,
how hard would it be to take up Judaism?
not hard. Do you want to be Jewish?
It's a long process.
You just want to be a better writer, Eddie. That's all it is. You're like, if I adopt Judaism,
Well,
will I write more
I was asking
structured
EJ,
jokes?
I said, if everybody calls me Jewish, is it appropriation if I just like adopt it?
Yeah, you can't. If you genuinely wanted to be Jewish, you can be. If you for a deep, genuine reason, you wanted to start studying Judaism, Judaism is very open to that. It is not like you cannot be a Jew because you're no. Like if you would like to go and
I
you
thought
know,
I had to like marry a Jewish woman.
no, you can go and I mean there no.
Dude, I've been told the wrong thing.
Yeah, from people who in your world are not religious, who know nothing about religion.
There's like,
We need to add some like culture to your life, Eddie. Who are you talking to? Just yourself in the mirror
Yeah, I
every
know,
day?
right?
Like
It's
that's
like-
your worldview. Population 1 with the occasional dog video.
that's so funny. Oh my God. No, that's funny. No, but I've thought about that. People have told me too that, have you ever done your birthright? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I just did it a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Israel. It was the most fun I've ever had in my entire life.
Really?
Like top 7. Yeah.
I
It was
how,
the
like,
most-
the top to like 7, like the
no,
pyramid.
not number 7, but like it definitely was one of the most fun I've ever had in my life. Like one of the top 7 moments, but the top 7 moments where I've had the most fun in my life are not on a.
Yeah.
They're all equal.
Okay.
Like it's not like top 1 and 7 are different.
Interesting.
They're all. I just had fucking.
I feel
fun.
that way about friends, like best friends.
You
like,
can't say
you
which
can't.
one's closer to the other. You're saying.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I say
like your
that-
MySpace top 5.
Yeah.
All of them were equal. It
yeah,
didn't matter if you were 1 or 5.
exactly. So I get that.
Yeah,
I
that's
understand
cool.
yours. So
Mine's moments, yeah. Just anything in general, like a feeling. I can't quantify the feeling.
Yeah.
Like I had so much fun. There was different factors, right? There was
Yeah.
different. So, but
It
it,
means
was
different
just. It
things
means
to
yeah,
you.
for
Yeah.
sure, for those people or whoever. Yeah, but it was so much fun.
I feel that. Okay. So what did you do there that made it so fun? Like what was the one thing? Like there had to have been one thing that cemented in your mind.
Okay, so it was Israel, right? Which is like this holy land. And it was really cool to go somewhere and learn all the things that I learned as a kid, to see it in front of me, right?
Yeah.
Like these crazy things. But also I was there with a bunch of people that made it really fun. I went with one of my cousins and we just it was so fun. We laughed the entire time. We were like having fun. We like partied. There was a lot of really good food. Tel Aviv is like a city and it is so much fun. Like there's like a party, like a nightlife scene.
Okay.
There was just like a lot of like really deep things. I learned a lot about myself while I was there. That was like a turning point in my life.
How
I don't
so?
know. I don't know how so or why. It's just I learned. That's when I became really self-aware of how I was being on this trip with all new people, and you start to realize how you are in terms of like what are the things you like to talk about, and what are like certain personality traits of yours, or like meeting 30 new people at once and then having to spend 12 days with them. You learn about yourself. You see what you do and what you don't like, and how others are with you. And I don't know, I just had a lot of little moments where I learned a lot about myself. And then right after that, we went to Greece because it was like such a cheap flight. It was so close, and we went. That was so much fun. Greece was beautiful. The food was amazing, and it was just, I had the time of my life. Yeah.
I feel like,
and I can't wait to go back.
You're going back?
One day, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To both places?
I mean, yes, absolutely. But I really want to go to Greece.
Okay.
Like soon.
I feel like going on a trip like that, like all those things that you said, like is definitely probably one of the biggest factors that I have seen when I went to New Zealand. I went to New Zealand for like 2 weeks, and like everything you said, like seeing how you act around other people, especially like people that you're like never going to see, also probably different cultures. Yeah. You know what I mean? My favorite story. So like one of the things in like New Zealand that cemented it for me was that, I was in an airport with with the roommate at the time. We were going on the trip, and there was a native woman who was sitting across from me. Like, I'm talking like tattoos all over the face. Like, the cool thing about New Zealand that I always like to tell people is that their natives are like fully integrated. It's like not like America, where it's like you'll see a Native American or an indigenous person, and it's like kind of rare. It's like you don't see a lot of full blood Native American people roaming around like in the city of Columbus. Like, you know what I mean? There, they're everywhere. It's like they are a part of like, you know, they're not being like held back by like, you know, policies or whatever.
Sure.
And so we're sitting there. She sees my ukulele that I had with me, and then she was like playing me a song, and I was like, I don't know. And then she's like, oh, come on. She's like, play me a song. So then I started playing a song, and we all started singing. Like,
wait, no way.
Like 15 or 20 people in the entire like airport part that we were in. We just started all singing the song that I was playing.
No
and
way.
And it like literally that's why like that was like one of those moments where it was like a lot of like I met a lot of like religious people there and stuff like that on that trip. Like we ran into like some like weird like cult church thing that was kind of cool, just like talking to them. They're like the people that speak in tongues and shit.
Wow.
But that was like one of those moments that I was like, dude, like there's definitely whatever God is, that it's like that was right there. That was at that moment, you know, just like when you're on the stage, you can get everybody to laugh, you know, at the same time you actually like figure out a joke and it works, you know, and everyone's laughing. It's like, in my mind, that's God. Like the combination of like you and everybody else, like just like intermingling and everything. And that's what I'm trying to find. I'm like, what is, you know, that religion or God or whatever,
yeah,
you know?
It sounds to me like what you're looking for is like spirituality.
Yeah.
I just feel like what you're saying is you're looking for that deeper, because like I don't agree necessarily what you're saying as far as like just
like, that's not what the Bible says.
No, not at all.
She's like, no, Eddie, this is what it says.
But I'm just saying, like, you saying that that's God for me, like all that is like that feeling is like that's my larger than life purpose.
Yeah,
I feel you know what I mean. And so that's what you're saying to that. Like that is what God means to you essentially, is like this feeling that's like bigger than yourself that you can't explain. I'm really big into Buddhism. Like I meditate a lot, and I wouldn't say that I'm Buddhist or anything, but I've done a lot of learning about Buddhist about Buddhism.
Buddhism.
Yeah,
baby.
wait. That's Judaism and Buddhism put together. Dude, I wonder if it exists, because that's me. Yeah. I wonder if it's a thing.
She said that she didn't have a butt earlier, but now she's gonna start Buddhism. That's great.
Buddhism.
Dude.
Yeah, that's
I think
my
that
thing.
would be a great skit. Like I feel like that could be.
Wait,
like
this is like what I want as my deeper meaning
like,
to life
like
purpose.
Yeah,
and he's like, that's a sketch. Can I put that on my reels?
It's all you.
But yeah.
No, but you've been meditating a lot?
Oh, meditation is like that's like my thing.
What kind of meditation do you do?
I just do silent, eyes open meditation. Okay. Yeah.
Do you do you like focus on anything? Is there like or is it more of just like an open you said eyes open?
Yeah, so I sit on on the ground or like on a cushion or anywhere I am, on the chair or whatever.
I love how you had your eyes closed.
When I'm
while
thinking
you
about what
you
I'm
were
doing.
like-
Yeah, you're right. I'm like, I do podcasts with my eyes closed, but I meditate with my eyes open. It's just a thing that I do. I sit and I have my eyes and then I count breaths. I like focus, I pay attention to my breaths, my body, what I'm feeling in the moment. I allow any thoughts to come up and then I just let them go. Like I just see my thoughts. I don't focus on anything, no, because I just want to focus on like just letting stuff go and not focusing.
Interesting.
It's the opposite. For me, it's the opposite of focusing on something. It's just like not focusing on anything.
Because there's a lot of different types of
Oh,
meditation.
yeah.
And that's an interesting style. I've done that one a few times.
Yeah.
It's like almost like opening your awareness almost.
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
Because you're literally just like getting everything all at once. Your eyes aren't closed. You're seeing everything.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to be just like focused on like not like.
I mean, I do look at like one spot, like on a wall or
that's
something.
What I'm saying. You're trying not to like.
Be distracted. Yeah. And my whole life, I grew up, I had really bad ADHD. And it was always like, let's put her on medication. Let's tame her. And so it's interesting that like I don't know how to focus very well. It's not, concentration hasn't always been my strong suit.
Yeah.
But meditation, I feel like has taught me how to, because I'm not just like distracted. And sometimes I am, like if I'm going through like a hard day or something and it feels a little harder to meditate that day. But yeah, there's so many different types. Everyone meditates differently. But yeah,
Okay.
there was something you said that I wanted to
Comment on.
yeah, I wanted to talk about it. You said something about meditation.
Different kinds.
Yeah.
Lots of different kinds. Opening your awareness.
Opening your awareness.
You said you focus on one spot. I say, nope. Did we lose this one?
Oh god, let's play that game where we just.
Okay, it's fine.
All right. Well, here's another question.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another Bible that you've read, the comedy Bible. Let's talk about that one because I
Yeah.
hear that is a very important, could be a big important part of your comedy growth potentially. I was talking with Xavier the other day, and he told me that I needed to get that. He said you need to. He's like, go ahead and get that, and I was like, all
The
right.
Comedy Bible?
Yeah. And I started like reading it like just the other day, and I was like, just like the very first part, that I was reading, like all of, like the questions that they're asking you and everything. And it's like, have you read the whole thing?
Yeah. I don't know if I've read like the very end of it. Yeah. So I've read the Comedy Bible. Interestingly enough, Xavier is the one who is the first person to ever tell me about the Comedy Bible.
Dude, is he comedy Jesus?
I don't know. You think the Comedy Bible's like paying him?
I don't
No, I'm
know.
just kidding.
Dude, that would be
I'm
nuts.
kidding. He's getting
Like,
commission.
dude, like-
Judy Carter is like Xavier. For every person, no, I think Xavier's just a great person, and that's what he's.
Because what version do you have?
The first one, the original.
Okay. Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's the one I downloaded. Do you have
Also,
the
it
physical?
seems like every question you're asking me ends with like, "Is that why you're so good at comedy, or is that how you're getting successful?" It's like
Yeah, no,
you
I
just
just-
want to know. You're like, you just want. Okay, here's what it is, Eddie. Yes, I've read the Comedy
I'm a better
Bible.
comedian than you. She's like, that's what it's coming
No,
down to.
Not at all. It's
What
just
was
funny.
that?
It just
You gotta
seems
be
like
funny.
you're like,
Yeah.
You're like, so is it the Jewish thing? Okay, it's
No.
not that. Okay, is it because you're a kind person? Okay, is that what it is? Is that what? All right, you've read the Comedy Bible. Is that why you're good at comedy?
I think, like I said, I think that your success that you are achieving, but I think that it's not done. Like, I think that you have way more to go. And I think that a lot of the things in your life, because you are, like you said, not nice but kind.
Thank you.
And the reason why I like enjoy that, and I think that you're gonna go far, is just because like there's a thing that you have that other people have said to me before that I didn't quite understand until I met you. And like somebody said to me one time that they felt like the Holy Spirit in me, and I was like, what the fuck does that even mean, or whatever. But there was one day I was at an open mic with you, and there was somebody on stage, and I was just like talking, and then you like, oh, Eddie, that's like pretty funny. Like the things that you're saying are pretty funny. And then like you like didn't say anything to me for like another like 10 minutes, and I just saw you on your phone, and then I got a notification that you had followed me on Twitter, and then I was like, it made me feel really good because like you weren't like, hey Eddie, what's your Twitter? Like you went and like
found it.
Yeah, and that like made me feel really good, and I just feel like that there's not a lot of people who are like that. You know what I mean? Who a lot of people, you know, will hate on other comedians and stuff like that, and you're the only comedian that I have met who's like, you know, like Dusty says, the thing that he hates about you is that you won't talk shit about any of the other comedians.
That's so funny. Yeah. I appreciate you saying that because
the first thing I've ever heard about her. It's no fun talking shit with her because she only says nice things about me.
It's not. It's just that like to me, I
But
really
she's so
don't.
good at roasting. That's
Yes,
that's her secret. She doesn't say shit for fucking years, and then they're like, Shaena, please come on this roast show, and she's like, yes,
finally. No, it's just because the roasting thing is just being able to write a good joke, right?
Yeah.
Like I just like need some like, if you tell me, if I look at somebody, it's like to be honest with you, and it's so boring. I know people don't want to hear this, and I know people's like, oh my God, rolling their eyes. Yeah, first of all, I don't see, like, I used to be someone who enjoyed talking shit. I wanted to, like, gossip with people. And now it's like, I just feel like it's such a waste of energy and time. Also, like, I believe really strongly in the laws of karma, and the laws of this universe say to me is, like, the nicer things you say about people and the better you are to people, like, the better people will be to you. And, like, I have so much, like, so many things that, like, I'm really grateful for in my life. And Eddie, like, I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life. Like, it is not like things have just been amazing. That has not been the case. Like, yeah, I've had a really good life. But even the like, bad parts or the sad parts have just, like, I don't feel the need to talk badly about other people. Especially, I am not someone who's, like, if somebody's like, oh, that comedian is not a good comedian. First of all, that is not up to you. Like, I know you really love talking about how other people are not great. Like, that is not, like, first of all, there's going to be someone in the world who really likes their style of comedy. So even if you don't like it, somebody will. Yeah. I also feel the same way about people who are like, that person's ugly. Like, I believe everyone's beautiful in their own way. I believe everyone's funny in their own way. And no one wants to hear that because it's so boring. It's like, we get it, Shaena, you love everyone. But I don't. I mean, it's not like, I just have respect for everyone. I try to have respect for everyone. I try. I do my best. I do my best to be respectful. Like, I used to treat different people differently based on how they treated me, but now it's like, you're going to get the same version of me. I don't care who you are, whether you deserve it or not. That's not up to me to decide.
When did you become like that, though?
When I started meditating, actually. Okay. Yeah, when I went on that trip to Birthright, I was like, damn, like, I'm real judgmental. Like, wow, why am I always talking about other people? Like,
so it was God. You liar! You fucking liar! That's why she's so good.
It was God. Yeah, maybe
God
that's what
damn
it is. Yeah.
I fucking knew
Well,
it.
you could be using his name in vain like that. That's the problem.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, dude, that's hilarious. No, but like,
yeah.
For real though, like I just think that like I agree with a lot of the things that you're saying. I like to talk shit though. I will say that. I do like to pick fun at people, but it's always playful. I would say that I like, and this is something that I've always said, is that even the people that annoy me the most, like, I don't hate. I don't hate anybody. I understand.
Yeah, I believe you.
I understand that, like, you're gonna be different than me.
Yeah.
We're gonna like, I don't.
But
hate
even if you did, I don't judge people
Exactly.
for hating people or for.
Well, hate's just so strong.
It's such a strong. I really don't like to use that word.
It's just like so, like. To really hate something is like to like love something.
I don't believe that you can dislike something that strongly unless you do love them at the same time, or want to be them secretly, or like have a love for them. Because I think, I don't know, I'd have to look more into that thought. But
so meditating has made you who you are today.
No,
well,
that part of it, the self-awareness part of like. Yeah, meditate. Nice. Yeah, kind. Yeah. Just because you just like sit there and you see the thoughts that go through your head, and like, first of all, why waste time on other people? Like, who cares? Yeah. Like, let them do whatever they want, you know? Like, earlier you were saying something about like being upset that somebody's comedy, like, you feel they care more about their career than comedy. Like, who fucking cares? Like, let that person, you know? Like, don't waste energy. Like,
yeah. it just it's just frustrating
Yeah.
because I see
Of
how
course.
much
I get it.
potential.
I get it.
And it's
I
like
totally
I
get it.
don't have that potential.
But
and
when
it's
you
like,
see someone else have, yes,
Yeah.
Eddie. When I see someone who I think is such a talented comedian,
Yeah.
and they just don't, I want them to bet on themselves so badly,
Yeah.
and like they don't, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, it's like, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, everyone has their own journey, and that's just part of it.
see, but that's why I want, like I told you, I want to become
Jewish.
yes that and the most influential person in the fucking world.
Oh,
I-
you didn't tell me this.
Oh, maybe I didn't.
Oh.
I want to be the best
Whoa,
comedian
that's-
ever.
Yeah.
But I want to be. I want to be.
Who starts comedy and is like, I want to be like the 19th best?
Yeah.
Like, of course. Yeah, that makes total sense. You,
I
you
wanna-
want to be the best at it that you
I want to
possibly
have
can
more
be.
influence than like Joe Rogan. I want to be able to like say Peter Brick's name and then he have like 2 million followers
Oh,
right
that's
off
so
the bat.
sweet. Yeah.
That's like what I want because I just feel like that there's a lot of people because the thing that I've been getting a lot, and this is like why it's so frustrating, because I feel like I'm not making the progress that I want to make. But other people are seeing my progress and like, Eddie, you're doing so well. Like, you're working so hard. But I'm also not like doing shit. Like, I'm literally like, I am like doing more than like some people.
Sure.
But I'm not like doing so much that like I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean by what do you mean you're not doing shit? What would that, if you were doing it, what would that look like?
I could be like writing more. I could be like making clips for the podcast more. Like I'm so behind on shit, but I'm also like, you know, but at the same time I'm like getting shows here and there, but I'm like, you know, maybe not getting booked as much as I want to, or, you know, cause like, to be honest, like, and this is like something that like, I've seen a lot of people complain about like on Facebook and stuff like that, and I have never really brought anything. I've never brought anything up, but like I've never been booked on a local show.
Wait, I will say, I feel like we don't have that many local shows.
Yeah, but in
But
the
yeah,
3
you're
years
saying in general. Yeah, that you've well,
that I've been
right.
doing comedy,
you're saying that you haven't been booked
I
locally.
have never been booked on a local show.
And so you're saying
all of my shows that I've been booked on have been either through like Becky or just like through other people, like, you know, Fish, or now I have a show in Dayton, and I'm okay with that because it makes I'm not saying that I don't need a local scene, but it's also just showing that like I feel like it's not it's not the way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
do you plan on being here? Do you want to move or anything ever?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay, but you see Columbus in your future for a long time.
Yeah. The way that I view Columbus is that I just think that there's a lot of work that can be done for the comedy scene. I think that like the problem that we have in Columbus is that we have a lot of talent, but we just don't have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, there's not a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
there's some really good ones.
We
But
need
we don't-
another comedy club that's not the Funny Bone, or if they're gonna make another Funny Bone, not in a mall.
Yeah,
We need to
just
have,
like a place where people can
Yeah. 'Cause
where
it's
people
like-
can tell their jokes.
because like Cincy's got, you know, spots, you know, for the locals.
Yeah, Cincinnati
Dayton's-
has a lot of showcases. Dayton doesn't.
Dayton.
And anytime I say the word Dayton, people say I say it wrong. If it's Dayton or if it's Dayton,
Dayton.
I don't know.
What is it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Every time I say Dayton,
Dun,
people are like,
dun.
you said it wrong.
Dayton.
Dayton?
I don't know.
Dayton. I don't know.
Dayton.
Dayton?
And we're from the. Oh, also a little fun fact: we're both from the Toledo area.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because you're from Perrysburg.
I'm from Sylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
From Napoleon.
Napoleon. Oh, yeah. My
Yeah.
friend lives in Napoleon. Yeah, Abby.
Who's your friend?
Yeah, Abby.
Abby.
Yeah.
How old is she? Is she from Napoleon?
I don't know if she's from Napoleon. I think maybe originally. I'm not exactly sure. She's been there for a long time, though. She has, like, kids, and they go to school there.
That's crazy.
But, yeah, we're from the same area. That's so funny.
419.
419.
What are you going to say?
I have a pronunciation.
Of Dayton? What is it?
Dayton?
Oh, okay. It's asking me. It's just a date. Yeah, not Dayton. Dayton.
Dayton.
So there's no T sound?
Dayton.
No, there's no.
You're supposed to say it really fast.
Wait.
Dayton.
Sound.
There's no O sound?
Yeah, Dayton.
Dayton.
Like you're dating my sister. Like
Yeah.
that. Dayton.
There's that joke. I don't know whose joke. Oh, it's a
Because the pronunciation, it just says D-A-Y.
Jake Iannarino's joke.
Dayton.
I was dating a girl from Eaton and eating a girl from Dayton.
Oh, okay. So he's pronouncing it correctly. Dayton.
Yeah.
Dayton. We
That's
can say
weird.
it. So
But you said that they don't have a lot of spots?
Dayton, I mean, they have some like local showcases too, but like I wouldn't say they have a ton.
Okay.
But yeah.
What about Cleveland? I don't hear a lot about the Cleveland scene.
Yeah.
What's going on over there? Like
No, Cleveland has some really talent. They have
Like-
Funny Stop.
Good.
like, you know, but like
Don't talk about Cleveland like that. I won't even talk shit about cities, dude. No, I'm kidding. Cleveland has some really talented comedians.
Yeah, I
they have
never
Funny
hear
Stop.
about-
You ever go to Funny Stop? You should go.
Is that in Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a few?
Cuyahoga Falls. It's like Akron area, but it is right by Cleveland.
Oh, so that's like, is that like the Cleveland? They have probably a Funny Bone too, I'm assuming, but like,
I think they have an improv.
oh, do they?
I think Cleveland Improv. I don't think they have a Funny Bone. I'm not exactly sure, but he's checking it out. He's checking it for us.
Yeah.
They got an improv. Hilarities. is in it.
Oh, they have Hilarities.
Yeah,
Oh.
You never heard of Hilarities?
No.
I haven't been, but I've heard amazing things about Hilarities. They got some really good talent
They
there
have 2 improvs.
too. You should check out Funny Stop.
Okay.
It's an open mic. I mean, it's a comedy club.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday they do an open mic contest. Every Wednesday there's a contest, and if you
What?
They have a bus that drives around that is just for comedy. Like it's a big old like double-decker bus that drives around and they do comedy shows on it.
what?
Yeah, that's so cool.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's called the Funny Bus Cleveland.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you type in how do you get booked for that? Like, could you just tell me who to contact?
Do you have an agent?
No.
So you do all your stuff yourself?
Yeah, I do all my booking and all my
Okay.
Yeah, not yet. I don't feel.
So, when you started like getting your bigger shows, was that just like someone
Do you
saw?
see this, Ridge? There's more questions. He
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
to know
yeah.
exactly. He wants a handbook on how.
Well-
He's like, I don't get it.
Well-
I don't have enough information yet.
Well, no, it's just like really funny because like I get a lot of newer comedians that do that to me, and I'm just like, dude, I have no fucking clue.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like you see, like I'm not getting booked on shows. Like you see that, like that was like somebody came up to me, like, hey, how do I get like booked on these local shows? And I was like, dude, I've not been booked.
Yeah,
on
you're-
one yet. If you find
Yeah,
out,
let me know.
Like they like all these new comedians, they always do like a new one, and I'm like, wow. I was like, all these people who are just like 3 months in, how are they getting these fucking shows? But it's fine though, because then it's like, then I'll do like a show like the Funny Bone, and then
Sure, and then
like,
you feel like it's balanced out, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
feel
yeah.
fine about
because
it.
Because it's like, you know, that's a show that everybody wants to do, and everybody like wants to do the open mic at the Funny Bone, but I'm just like, ugh. That annoys me. I really dislike the Funny Bone open mic. I really do.
Wait, there's something you just said I do want to say. It's also really, really easy to get caught up in the comparison game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like, I know it sounds silly and easy to do, but it's not. There's no, like, you shouldn't compare yourself to other
everybody.
people. And I know it's so easy to say and really hard to do, because everyone I think does this at times, but like, the only person you're competing with is the person that you were yesterday. Yeah. And like, so it's so easy to be like, these other people want these things. These other people have these things. But like, also it's like their journey's different. Like, this is your journey and you're going on the one that's meant for you, and not even in like a religious, spiritual way. Just like genuinely, like, the things that you're doing are different than someone else. Like, you can't compare because your lives are so different from each other.
Yeah.
The work that you're putting in, that they're putting in, the things that are going to come for you or the things that are going to come for them are so different. And so I get it. You want to, like, it's easy to fall into the comparison thing, but also, like, I bet you compared to somebody else, they're looking at you like, I'm not getting the shows that he is.
Yeah.
So you never know who's looking at you thinking the same thing that you are.
Like I said, that's like the thing that like is like somewhat annoying, is that like you're doing so much hard work, and I was like, I'm not. Like, my writing game, and like you talked about this like with the posting of reels, is that like you're afraid of like losing a lot of your material. It's like I'm in the same boat right now. Now I'm like, I've gotten lucky enough that like the ones that are really blowing up are the improv ones.
Oh, nice.
So I'm not like losing material that way, but at the same time, it's like the stuff that I'm doing more of is the stand up.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not a great writer, and that's also why I brought up like the comedy Bible.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about the comedy Bible?
And how did that like
help?
What was the biggest thing in that book that helped you into writing? Because like I that's like the thing that's my biggest problem.
So actually, to be honest with you, I took a writing class.
Yeah,
like
you said that
before I started stand up. That was the first thing that I did. I approached stand up at a very like, I look at words and like strokes as equations, like formulas. I have formulas. I know equation. I know how to look at something. I look at it structurally. And so what the Comedy Bible did, the Comedy Bible came into my life about, I don't know, like a year into stand up or a couple months into stand up. And actually what that really helped me with was learning what to, I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't really help you on a, it does help you on a writing level. It taught me how to find my voice in a way. Like some of the exercises are like, write down all the things that make you unique, write down all the things that make you upset, write down all the things that make you, and that was like, it helped me realize kind of trying to help me find my voice.
Like that thing I was saying, like, I don't know the angle that
yes, I would say, I don't think the Bible really helps you like write a joke. Maybe it does actually. No, there are a lot of exercises. Yeah, it does. But I think it also just helps you overall so much in like how to talk and like what to talk about. And then it does help you like write. It does. And I think that I think it's so beneficial to read. But I think that for me, I think there's two lines. I think there is your writing, and then I think there is your point of view and your stage presence. And I think that they both go upwards, and it's a matter of one's going to go before the other, right? So like when I first started comedy, I knew how to write. I can write really well. I can write jokes. I know what a joke looks like. I know how to write. But my writing line started going really high because I could write every day. I learned how to write. I was really good at it. I mean, decent at it. Yeah. You know, I'm working on it. I was working on it every day. But then my stage presence wasn't quite there with it. You know, like you were saying, how people seem like they're just reading their jokes. Like for a long time, that's really what I was doing because I was memorizing the words that I wrote or wanting to get the laughs based on the punchline that I know works. So right now in this moment, these last 6 months, I've been focusing a lot more on telling the jokes, on being conversational, on being myself on stage. And so oddly enough, as those two lines come closer together, I think that's where you find your point of view, is when you're able to be yourself and say these things that you think are funny because they come from you know, like I don't really have strong opinions about things. That's I will crazy. Say.
That's so. You said two lines.
I look at it that way.
That's
yeah.
interesting because I would say that my stage presence
is higher than your writing
line is like way higher than my writing line.
And I think a lot of newer comics that's the case because I don't know. I don't think I just took it at a very analytical way. Like I wanted to go to law school before I started comedy. I was a very like methodical thinker. That's how I thought about stuff. Was
the
like
Jewish person in you.
That was yeah, the Jewish person in me. Sure. I mean,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
And so I approached
a law
it.
Person?
Wanted?
Or you wanted to be a law person?
A lawyer?
A lawyer? Well, I didn't like. I didn't. Well, I didn't know.
I wanted to be one of them law people.
Well, I didn't know. If, I wasn't like paying attention. Exactly. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I was originally going to law school. That was my, and before that I wanted to be a doctor. Like I always had even like a psychologist, like my background was very much like school and structure. So when I approached stand up, I took the same school approach and just took it and put it into comedy.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I would say that like I have always been a lot more like theatrical.
No, like creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
that's cool.
So I've been. It's easy for me to like put myself out there.
Yeah.
But then to write jokes is like so taxing, and I think it's because I just don't know the equations.
Yeah.
Because
I will say though it's hard. Like I can look at somebody else's jokes and I can write them so much easier than I can for myself. It's the weirdest thing.
I also find that too.
Right? It's also because you're
crazy.
taking a step back and you're looking at it. I'm always like, I can't find the best punchline for this. But for someone else's joke, I'm like, oh, I see exactly where you have to go for that.
You know, and maybe it's just because I don't know the point of view. Because there have been a lot of times where I'm writing with like Tim's, or where I was writing with Tim's, where he would have like a joke idea and it would be a lot easier to like play in his realm because it's like I know who he is and everything, but then like he would try to use that to like help me write my jokes and it just like didn't feel
work.
right.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't know if I vibe with it like that, you know what I mean? Because it's like we're just like slightly different personalities.
I will say, if you're writing with somebody, I think it's important that they know you, that they know your comedic, how you are on stage and off stage. One of my favorite things to do is to write with people. Like, if you ever want to like sit down and like workshop just one joke, like you don't have to look at it as like and not because I'm better or you're better, no, because it's different points of view. And I think that if someone ever gives me a tag for a joke, or they give me a better like angle or better way to look at something, I love it, because I didn't realize people look at things that way. I am one person with one point of view. Yeah. And so once you put 2 points of view together, it just helps you. So you be like, oh, you look at it that way? I didn't know someone would even do that. And so it helps you. But I love writing with people. Only people that I like, not that I like that I enjoy being around, and also people that know me on a personal and stage level. Because other than that, you can't write with someone who doesn't know you.
Interesting.
Maybe you could.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I could look at someone's joke who I don't know.
If you were like, I feel like far enough into the profession, like I feel like when we went to Cincy and we were hanging out with like the Go Bananas guys, it was nuts. It like felt like, I always like to tell people, it felt like what I would assume like a TV's writer room would feel like.
Oh my gosh.
Literally, we were on stage, we would do like a minute joke, and they would just be like, boom, boom, boom.
Feedback?
Boom.
Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie.
Dude,
Oh.
I felt so inadequate there, because I literally went in there, and because Tim's had the same thought, but Tim's is a lot better than I am, because he was like, these people haven't seen me before, so I'm gonna like try to bring out a good joke. I brought out like what I thought was a good joke, got torn up.
Oh.
He did his joke, he fucking murdered it.
Yeah.
But like,
it's amazing. Go Bananas. I was there last
Blake
weekend.
And
everyone. Yes.
There was 13 people in the room, and he killed that whole room.
I was hosting at Go Bananas last weekend, and so I was there for the weekend, and I even just hanging out with those guys like off stage, it is like they are constantly on without trying. I feel like I'm working a muscle hanging out with people like so funny like that, because most comedians, most of the time when I'm hanging out with comedians, it just feels like you're constantly
That's
on.
how I feel about like Yale, Chris, Samson, and HB.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like I feel
Absolutely.
that way when I'm around them, and that's like the group that I wish I could like hang out with more. And it's just like, because like those are the guys that like when I hang around, those are the guys that are, or Ian Miller. I feel like he's also
Ian
like
Miller
that.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like there are people in this scene that I feel that where I'm like, oh fuck,
Yes.
like I need to
those
like,
group of guys that you just named, Yale, Samson, HB, those Chris Toilet, so funny. Yeah, and they're always so on.
I'm so bad at the heckle mic, and I'm like, if I could just hang out with them just a little bit more, just like to like revive that, because like I said, like when I was in high school, I would have been much better. Yeah. But now I'm like so bad, like because I'm just like at like just like coming up with something like on the spot, like to like roast somebody or whatever. It's like, and
it's a muscle though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also, I also, because I haven't done it in so long, it's like hard to do it without sounding hateful. You know what I mean? Without like saying something that's like
just mean and not funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a muscle, I will say. Just like crowd work is a muscle, like saying something on the spot. There's a writing muscle, there's a stage presence muscle. Like all of those muscles you have to work. Yeah. And you have to intentionally work on them. They don't just get better. You have to actually try to get better. Like heckle mic and stuff like that. It makes you stronger in some. I have my own feelings about the heckle mic, but Halima knows. Like, but definitely there are moments of it where it make you stronger. Yeah. Even if you're going home like crying about what people said about you, but like you're gonna be stronger with it. It's funny. Like I'm like I don't know. I don't really get what you get out of it, but now I do. Like I understand the point of it. It makes you. There's a muscle there that you're working. Yeah, but you should definitely read the Comedy Bible. One of the first things it says is to get a writing buddy. So maybe you should find a person, find somebody who's never read it, and both of you read it together and then do it all. And it really will help you. Just feel like happy and excited about writing and stuff. It makes it really fun. I did it, with Xavier in the beginning, and it was fun.
Yeah, because I feel like if I finally got like a hold of like, or at least an idea of like what writing is for me, then like my comedy career will just like blast off, because like I feel like I have the ambition, I have the endurance, And I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but
Sure.
what I'm saying that like over time, as long as I like, I'm not going to be worried about like not
Yeah.
doing comedy in the future. That's
Some-
like what I don't want.
And you don't worry about that. Like,
Yeah.
just be you. And,
I just don't want to be doing the same 10 minutes
no.
in 20 years that I'm doing today. That's like what I don't
I will
want.
be so mad at you. Like, I will be very upset. I will come find you and be like, Eddie, we know you're colorblind. We get it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, please write something else.
next. I do think, just remember at the end of the day, we're writers who get on stage, because writing is the 90% of that iceberg that you don't see. You only see the 10% of us on stage, but a huge part of it is writing. And not everyone, right? I don't know. I mean, some people do crowd work and some people don't. Every single person is so different. And this is not advice for any comedian out there.
Yeah.
This is just for me. I'm a writer. That's what I am. And I get to tell the jokes. I get to perform them. I'm also a performer. But I would say a lot of my success has come from being able to write. Like, and you can say, yeah, sure. Is it that maybe because I'm Jewish, maybe because I'm kind, whatever. But at the end of the day, I would rather have somebody on my lineup who I know is going to make that room laugh, rather than somebody who I think is a good person or a good friend.
Yeah.
Sure, if there's both of them, that's amazing. But no one's going to book somebody. I mean, maybe you will book somebody who's just your friend. But, like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, someone's booking me because they know I can get the job done.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what matters. And sure, not everyone has great days. There's moments where you get on stage and that's just not your day. It's just not your crowd. It's not your moment. And we'll have that forever. But at the end of the day, like, just if you can just write some really good jokes and have those really good jokes, then, like, at the end of the day, you feel confident in your material and your ability to do stand up. And once you feel more confident, you show up as a better person, I think, as a better comedian.
Dude, fuck yeah. Shaena, thank you so much for being on today.
I appreciate it.
Go
Thank you for
ahead
having
and
me.
Plug whatever you have to plug. You have
Sure.
a website or anything? Or
No, you can find me on Instagram at I Go by Shaena. And I'm sure you'll tag it, like, maybe in the show notes. Mm-hmm. My Twitter is also I Go by Shaena. I try to write some jokes on there, and that's pretty much it.
Very good Twitter feed, by the way.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Rich.
yeah.
Thank you. Twitter's fun, but yeah, and then that's it. You can find me on there and everything
you
that
have
I'm
any
doing.
big shows coming up?
I have some show. I mean, just like, I don't know
Or
when
just
this
shows?
episode comes out, so, like, I don't know what timely.
What's today? Today's
But
Saturday.
if you follow me on Instagram, all my stuff, my promotion, I'll promote every show that's coming up on
Hell
there.
yeah. Hell yeah.
And then people can go on there and check it out.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Eddie.
Guys,
It was fun. Thanks
for listening.
Thanks.
This was Shaena Rabbani,
Yeah.
and we'll catch you guys next episode.
Yeah, thank you.